Hello and welcome to this business success conversation with Carthy Accountants. My name is Michael Carthy, Managing Director of Carthy Accountants, and joining me today is a Mr. Adam Roy. All-round wonderful guy, but one of our client relationship managers here at Carthy Accountants. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Michael. Thank you.
So, Adam, numbers are obviously incredibly important within the job that we do. And obviously, certain numbers will tell us certain things. So, let's look at a business dashboard. What is a business dashboard?
So it's a window for the business owner to look into and see how their business is doing. There's different ways a business owner can track their business, and what's important to them will dictate what a dashboard should present. So the first thing as a business owner you should ask yourself is what's important to me and to understand how my business is doing. That could be anything from cash to turnover to certain percentages against your revenue. But ultimately, a dashboard should be your go-to to see how your business is doing.
Yeah, I've always been one for, 5 to 10 key numbers that if they're in the green, that your business is doing well.
Yeah.
I know it will vary business to business, but what are ideal key numbers that we should be keeping a check on?
The three key areas should be cash, profit, and turnover. Cash is the lifeblood of your business. And if you're not tracking when your money's coming in and when your money's going out, how will you know what you can pay and when customers owe you money? It keeps the business flowing. Turnover looks good on paper. But again, if the cash isn't behind that, how useful is that in running and understanding your numbers? But the real key, I think, is understanding your margins. So percentages like gross margin, net margin, understanding where your profits are being built between your revenue and your costs, and understanding the gaps there. That's where the key is, I think.
Yeah, I think it's not just finance numbers as well. You need to be tracking how many leads you're seeing. Once we've got a pattern of how many leads we're seeing as to how many people we're converting, we can start to plan, well, if I want to grow my business X-fold, I need to be getting in this number of new leads in order to convert this amount, which will lead to this amount of money. So I do think that's a really important one, that we're not just tracking financials.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it comes back to the business dashboard. Those are sort of things you can track in addition to sort of the basic financials.
So obviously we touched on how important a dashboard is, so that we're actually having figures in front of us. But obviously what's important is to know what's good and what's bad with those things. So what does a healthy dashboard look like versus an unhealthy dashboard?
To sum it up, it's predictable cash flow. So on a good looking dashboard, it's where you go to it and you consult the numbers and it's as expected. Money's coming in on time by your customers as you expect, prompt and inform, and that can help inform then your decisions going forward. Like you said earlier, the metrics all in the green would be turnover in excess of costs, which then leads to profits, and then that itself fuels and backs the rest of it, such as cash, to then inform decisions.
Turnover vanity, profit sanity, and cash flow reality. I think the thing to remember is many a profitable, successful business has gone under due to poor cash flow. And it doesn't take much to tweak your debtor terms, anything like that, where you can get that cash into your bank quicker. It's not unheard of to offer incentives to pay early, and anything you can do to get that cash in your bank rather than your customers is important. So once, we've got our dashboard set up, you set kind of what looks good, what's healthy, and that sort of thing. If I was to look at a set of numbers, or you were to look at a set of numbers, how would you know if a business was in trouble?
So the warning signs I'd be looking for would be, how long is it taking your customers to pay you? What is your bank balance at month end or year end? When you come in to do your accounts or management accounts, is it as expected, or are you completely out? Because again, your profit can say one number, but your cash in the bank can say another. Another thing as well is, how is your business funded? because if you are running at a debt, there's a debt overhang on your business and you've got, fixed outgoings and fixed overheads to cover. If your sales aren't covering your fixed overheads, that in itself is a warning sign. Yeah, and that you need to be mindful.
Yeah. So obviously, dashboard, incredibly important, and I suppose technology has enabled us to be able to be a lot more on top of our numbers. Gone are the days where 8 months after your year end, you'd be getting your accounts signed and looking back on historical data. Obviously, nowadays we've got the benefits of cloud software, a lot of technology to help us. But what are the benefits of that cloud software?
Yeah, your accountant can jump on real time with you, look at those numbers, and inform decision making before any of these early warning signs prop up. It, like you say, normally, or back in the old day, the traditional way is looking at historic numbers in a set of accounts or management accounts. But now, looking at it real time, you can see things as they're happening. Like we said, customer balances could be getting higher, money not coming in fast enough, and reconciliations aren't adding up. There are issues in the books, and by having access to it with the technology we've got now, midway through a financial year now, we can pick these up and work with clients to get things working in the direction so that it's not a firefighting exercise come the year end. It's everything is working towards a direction or a goal set a few years in advance.
Yeah, I think the other sort of one to think about is with cash flow. A lot of people will see cash that's in their bank as suddenly, oh, I'm okay, there's cash in that bank. Nowadays with cloud software, we can see what your corporation tax is likely to be like. We can see what your personal tax is like because we can see what you've taken out, rather than having to go through statements to see what you've taken out 8 months after. So actually, knowing the true cash positioning, because I'm a real stickler for make sure you put VAT to one side, your corp tax to one side, and the benefits there are incredible, because if someone comes to us and says, I want to go on a nice holiday, we can look real time and say, okay, there you go, you can take up to X amount out.
Absolutely.
So we talk about the importance of having a dashboard, and let's just say it's grabbed someone's attention. What's going to happen when they come to see you? How are you going to set up that dashboard with them, and how's that going to lead to better results?
It will all start with a conversation to understand how in control the business owner feels. If they can't answer the 3 simple questions of how much cash is in your business right now, what money is owed to you at this point in time, and what money do you owe out? If they can't answer that, then that is a clear sign that a dashboard is what they need in order to get the basics.
Clear sign they're not in control of
They're
them.
not in control. Yeah, absolutely. So if they came to us and spoke, that we'd understand very quickly that it's the control that we need to help them see, the clarity, and understand why they want to see what they want, because it may be short-term goals, it may be long-term goals, but ultimately we'd build and work with them and make sure it's useful, and ultimately give them a feeling of assurance over their numbers and the business.
So we mentioned the importance of having a dashboard for checking on those key numbers, but for someone who doesn't know, the basics, what is a dashboard?
So
we're not thinking it's like sat in front of you like a car. Obviously, we can use that analogy with the key data, but
Yeah, so using new technology, accounting suites online, any software that's geared towards bookkeeping. Typically, there's a report you can run, a homepage, an area in that software, or even something we can extract as accountants and build our own, bespoke document, if you like. It's basically a living area, a living document that a business owner can access to see at a glance. It can live on an accounting software, it can live independent of it, but what's important is what's feeding and the input going into it.
Absolutely. I think the simple fact is a dashboard can be as simple as an A4 piece of paper that once a week you write some number. As long as you know what the numbers need to be in order for good, what they are if they're bad, and you can refer back to it. But I mean, definitely weekly, people should be checking their dashboards, their important figures, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, it's a natural output of a healthy financial system that you've got in place, and you can just extract what you want to know at any one point in time.
Yeah.
A dashboard is great because you can use it to tell a story about your business and what the numbers actually mean, more than just numbers on a page. So working with clients, typically I'll go through their profit and loss with them, and there might be some oddities, some anomalies that instantly tell a story. And from that one pop-up when going through the numbers, suddenly a whole new understanding about the business reveals itself. And so really powerful having these dashboards and numbers that are at the forefront of a client's mind.
So that's all things dashboard. And the fact is, if people want to get in touch to talk about dashboards, feel free to just drop us a line. Adam, thank you as always for discussing that with me. And we'll catch you really soon on the next Business Success Conversations with Carthy Accountants.